huge numbers, was in the starting lineup then.
Reggie, I mean, you don't want to predict, but his upside, oh my goodness, it looks like he's going to be around for a long time with his skill set and the beautiful step back jumper by AD over Plumlee.
Davis stacking him up early tonight. 14 points already on 4 of 6 shooting. He's made 6 free throws. Grant sticks a 3. Good answer on the other end by Jerami Grant.
What a start offensively for both of these teams. You got the Lakers shooting 57%, and you've got the Nuggets at 62.
Here's LeBron. Grant will draw LeBron James duty. Nice pass. Kuzma. The scoop is in.
Can't stop and watch. Everyone thought LeBron was going to go to his patented stutter step spin move, and just with the cutter comes. I mean, so aware. Great pass.
LeBron only with 2 points, but he's got 4 assists already. Davis guarding Murray, gets up a quick shot at the buzzer. Stick it, it's good. Jamal Murray for 3 as we take it to the end of the first quarter. His first made 3-pointer gives him 9 in the quarter. Yeah, got it off in time. Off and running here. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Lakers, Nuggets. You're watching it on TNT. Curry gives the Nuggets a lead. Jokic, a big story already. Nikola Jokic with 11 points, 11 minutes, 5 of 9 shooting, has a couple of assists all over the floor in that first quarter. Moments ago, Allie LaForce caught up with head coach Michael Malone.
Thanks, BA coach. We saw JaVale McGee at first on Nikola, then we saw Anthony Davis. They brought the double teams. He's used to seeing that. How critical was the off-ball movement to your success in the first quarter offensively?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, if they're going to put 2 on the ball, somebody's open. So make sure we have proper spacing and we react to the double team, make ourselves available to the ball. But we knew going in, Allie, that it's going to be transition defense to not do a good enough job in that quarter, and then living in our paint. We have to do a much better job of making them beat us from the perimeter.
Defensively, what kind of shots do you want to force in the second quarter?
3-point shots, perimeter shots with the late contest, but Kyle Kuzma cutting behind us, them outrunning us in transition. They're scoring too easy right now. We're not going to outscore this team over 4 quarters. We have to find a way to make a stand defensively.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, Michael Malone is not going to be happy with that. He's just telling Allie about points in the paint, and first possession of this second quarter, Caruso gets all the way to the cup for the and one.
Yeah, and when you play against the favorites or the higher seed, and they really have earned it like the Lakers have, you can't take any plays off. Each play is so critical right now. You got to build that wall and stop penetration.
Here's Murray for 3. Rattles in and out. LeBron James a rebound. Every opposing coach that plays the Lakers wants to try to make them shoot to win. That is one of the weak spots as LeBron James goes down.
He may have tweaked an ankle on that move right there. Stepped on the foot of Jerami Grant. See him trying to tie that left shoe. But just a little rollover of the ankle here by LeBron James. Here's the move. Yep,
Ooh, right on that
there.
foot.
That left foot right on the foot of Jerami Grant.
We were talking today just about the greatness of LeBron James, how hard he works, his work ethic, how he's improved. And one of his best skill sets is availability, Reg, because this man, I mean, he's a warrior.
Durable.
Yes.
Durable.
Amazing how he just cinched up the shoes and says, let's go, back on the free throw line. Certainly a scare on that Lakers sideline.
Well, that's something to watch throughout this series as well, because right now adrenaline is pumping through his veins right now, so he's not feeling much, but in timeouts and when he goes to the bench and at halftime can stiffen up a little bit.
And how will it affect their transition game? Usually he gets the rebound and leads the break for this team.
Well, it's biting him. He's wincing after every shot. LeBron James will keep an eye on him here. 2-point Laker lead just underway here in the second quarter. Monte Morris dumps it inside. Plumlee. Markieff Morris on the floor for the first time, and he immediately fouls Plumlee.
Both teams playing well right now, but I don't know about the defense, Reg. When both teams come out shooting 60% from the field early, a lot of easy layups, a lot of team ball by Denver.
Morris Morris searching, finds Porter, lost it in the air. Let's see if that was touched by a Laker or not. It was. It'll stay Denver ball. Just 3 on the shot clock here.
Watch the back screen by a shooter or the handoff to the inbounds man.
Grant gets it off in time. 3-pointer, no. And Porter with the foul. Kuzma hit the deck. First foul on Porter Jr. Already 3 team fouls for the Denver Nuggets here in this second quarter. Just keeping an eye on LeBron James. Looks like he's moving okay right now, especially side to side. Working the 2-man game with Caruso. Good pass, and James hammers one home.
I would say he's okay, right?
Adrenaline? Yeah.
Is that still adrenaline?
Okay, we don't have to check him after every play.
Well, hey, look, this is what you want from a once-in-a-generation type guy. LeBron James here gets the little alley pass from Caruso and the finish from the King.
Oculus front row view. How about the passing we've seen from LA?
Teamwork makes the dream work. Right now, LA shoots 62%, 12 assists on 15 buckets. And this man, LeBron James, will give you an assist anytime he gets an open lane and you give him a good pass.
Lakers #1 among playoff teams in assists so far, averaging nearly 26 a game. Reggie didn't get his feelings hurt there. We didn't give him the assist package.
No, but there'll be a 3-point package coming up here any minute.
We'll let Chris do that one too. 12 assists on the 15 makes. As C-Web mentioned, Lakers out in front by 4, and Markieff Morris hits a 3-pointer.
Well, on cue, talking about 3-pointers, the Lakers are not a great 3-point shooting team, but they know in this series that they're going to have to stay within striking distance of the Nuggets. Thus far, even at that 3-point line.
So that's 13 gives now on the 16 makes. Rondo's got 4 assists to go along with LeBron's 4. Jokic and Harris back on the floor, and Dwight Howard on the floor for the first time. This should be an interesting matchup between these two.
Yeah, I think this matchup is going to be the telltale matchup of it being that AD will not maybe check the Joker that much until late in the game. So let's just remember what Dwight Howard has done on the defensive end, and one of the best big men still at moving laterally without fouling.
Here's Porter for 3. Nope. Back iron. And there's James who falls down. He and Rondo collide. Rondo patient. Oh, a little sidestep there. Missed with the right hand. Howard keeps it alive. Porter hits the deck. Keeps his dribble going. Wow, nice play there to secure the possession. Nuggets down 7. Have the lead at the end of 1 after a 3-pointer.
Oh my goodness.
Boy. Markieff Morris straight down on Monte
Oh, he's
Morris.
okay. He's in Pelican Bay doing push-ups. Okay. He is all right. Look at Monte Morris goes into the body of Morris.
Yikes.
And Markieff Morris here.
Oof.
How about Monte, BA, since he was inserted into that lineup, I mean, just such a momentum changer, just like what Rondo did for the Lakers in that series.
That was a lineup change for Game 4 against the Utah series in round 1. Grant and Morris went into the starting lineup. Torrey Craig and Michael Porter Jr. went to the bench. And Michael Malone has no intention of changing that. He likes all that it produces. He likes Morris. He likes the fact that it gets Porter Jr. on the floor a bit with Plumlee as well. There's a lot of matchups Malone likes with this.
Plus, Porter Jr. is the first option offensively with that second unit. More important.
Caruso. Good pass. LeBron shovels one over to Morris. Does he got the hot hand? He'll fire it. And he'll hit it. 2 threes for Markieff Morris in this second quarter.
Yeah, but what an unselfish play there by LeBron James, who could have pulled up for a shot, but recognized his teammate had a better look.
Denver has scored 1 point in this quarter. Now a turnover for the Nuggets. James leaves it up top. Howard can't finish it. A foul on the play. The second quarter, the Lakers have outscored the Nuggets 12-1 here at the 8:48 mark.
LeBron is just doing it all. Reggie, you just mentioned the unselfishness, the great pump fake by one of your toughest players on the team. Morris, he knocks down the pump fake and step-in jumper.
So Dwight Howard at the free throw line. Howard in these playoffs just 10 for 19 from the line.
Why'd you jinx him?
10 for 20. I'm just reading the facts, Reg. I will tell you, though, the NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Mountain Dew, official sponsor of the NBA, and by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I forgot how froggy Reggie Miller can be. I haven't worked it. You and I had a good thing going, Chris. Now Reggie's
About
involved.
superstition here.
Mr. Starter Pot himself.
Man,
Don't tell the man stats. We know he's a bad free throw shooter.
gives it up. Jokic, and he's met by Green. Nice block by Danny Green. Howard was there as well. And Howard got a piece of that. Man, Howard already making an impact defensively.
Lakers complaining.
Yeah, reset the full shot clock there. Scott Foster.
Because it was a controlled tip by Dwight Howard. That's why it was a reset on that 24-second clock.
This is what I mean. Dwight Howard, not as athletic as he once was, but still more athletic than most big men in the league. And laterally he can move. And when he's defending and not fouling like on that possession, so valuable on both ends of the floor.
Well, just think how many fouls Howard, McGee can give. If you end up, you're going to go small anyway if you're the Lakers with AD at the 5 in a close game. It's going to put a lot of body work on Jokic. Harris runs into a wall into Dwight. Now a bad pass. Another turnover. Here comes Caruso. He's got LeBron James right there. The lob to LeBron.
And if you're Michael Malone, you cannot be happy with the turnovers. Easy transition buckets here for the Lakers.
Biggest lead for the
Offensive foul.
Lakers. And that one's going the other way. Jokic with the foul.
You know, BA, that before that play, they started wrestling a little bit. And I'm not saying Jokic is frustrated, but he's getting more aggressive. And, yeah, I think the ankle is a non-factor. And right here, we start to see a little bit of this. And Frank Vogel talked about this. He said, listen, Dwight's going to wrestle and wear him down and try to be physical with him. And that's what he does on that play.
See if LeBron and the Lakers can take advantage once again. Shot clock down to 6. Here goes James. Strong all the way in off the glass.
Way too easy. Too strong. Too gifted. The smaller Gary Harris, who's a really good defender, just outsized versus LeBron James. Another turnover offensive foul by the Denver Nuggets.
That is the 6th turnover of this quarter, while the Nuggets are 0 for 5 shooting in this quarter, and it's 16-1 Lakers here in the second.
And if you're Jokic, you got to try to block that shot. And this is the thing about physical defenders. If the ref doesn't call, you get frustrated, you get upset. Right now, Coach Michael Malone taking up for his player, but Coach Malone's doing a great job. But Jokic is just going to have to come out and fight force with force.
It's one of the biggest concerns Michael Malone and the Nuggets had with Nikola Jokic is foul trouble, and he's in it now with 3. To the bench he goes with 7:15 remaining in the second quarter. Now another foul on the Nuggets.
And right now you're down by 13 with 7 minutes left in this second quarter. And if you're Michael Malone with those 3 fouls to Jokic, you're wondering, does he even come back at the end of this second quarter at all? You don't want to risk him picking up a 4th.
I agree with you, Reggie. And yes, we know this team has come back in 6 games in which they could have gone home. But right now, you just don't want to waste it. We know you come back from double-digit leads, but I agree, you got to sit the big man down for the second half.
At the end of the first quarter, the Nuggets got a 3-pointer.
Michael Malone is hot. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a technical yet.
Fish grease.
Making his way there. It was 38-36 at the end of 1 after that Murray 3-pointer. Denver has 1 point. Have not made a field goal here. They're 0 for 5 in the second.
Look at this
And
defense.
Murray just being hounded. And now a whistle, got a technical. And that's going to be on Murray.
Frustration's clearly starting to set in here by this young Denver Nuggets team.
Yes. And usually it's because it's 20,000 screaming fans at Staples. This is just happening in this gym, and it's because of the frustration, the defense of the Lakers.
He is barking up the wrong tree right there. And Scott Foster, now in his 26th season, this is his 200th playoff game he has officiated.
Yeah, look at half court. You got Dwight Howard in the middle of the Nuggets camp there, creating a little. See, this is the veteran presence that you have on this Laker team.
And you just love it, huh, Reg?
Oh,
you
this is
like
great.
it, right?
See, look what I'm talking about. He's getting pushed out here.
I don't have to move. I don't have to. I'm just standing here.
Oh,
I mean,
this is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
Huddle. What does that mean?
It's a good lip reading too there, Chris. Way to clean it up.
Because Chris has been there.
There goes Harris. Oh, denied by Howard. Wow.
And had words for Gary Harris.
Stepping all over the Nuggets after that one.
Hey, C-Webb, there were two guys that were doing cartwheels when they found out that the Denver Nuggets upset the LA Clippers.
Who?
JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. Because they were non-existent in that Houston series because they had to play small.
That's right. They say, Coach, you got to play us now.
Plumlee to spin, and he shakes Howard a two-handed jam.
That's what I'm
Plumlee
talking
goes
about.
strong right there. Nuggets desperately needed that. That's the first field goal of the second quarter.
Yeah, but Plumlee had words for Danny Green. Just a minute ago, it was Dwight Howard having words for Gary Harris on that block. I'm already loving how this series is shaping up, guys.
12-point Laker lead. 6.5 to go in the second. LeBron trying to turn the corner, just plows through Murray, and it's going to be a block.
Look at LeBron.
Murray's looking like, what am I supposed to do on this play? I tried to get position. I'm a little late, but I'm not that strong. And look at that.
Take him off the blocks right
And
there.
one.
But look at LeBron's reaction. See, the rest of your teammates, they feed off of this. Having your best player be this animated.
They're going to look at it. Going to review a potential and-one situation here for LeBron. We'll clean it up when we come back.
By LeBron James, and somebody told me this is his 17th year with hops like that. Incredible.
It is amazing what he's been able to do throughout his career. He continues to be the alpha dog of the NBA. Markieff Morris finding Caldwell Pope, steps in for a two, comes up short. So Denver a chance here. They're down 12.
And hanging around. You know, they've seen this movie before. They got to get this guy going.
Oh, misses again. Michael Porter Jr. can't buy one now. Long pass up ahead. Davis is fouled.
What a pass by LeBron. Are you kidding me? The vision here. Threw it where only Anthony Davis could go get it.
Somewhere Dwayne Wade saying, I remember those days right there.
You could see LeBron James motioning to Davis. Go strong, hold that ball, dunk that thing.
See, Webb, let me ask you a question, because LeBron has been around the block a few times, has played with a lot of great players.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm getting ready to ask you. Is Anthony Davis the best teammate LeBron has played with? Now, you mentioned Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving, Chris Bosh.
So today, he is not better than Kyrie Irving, and he is not better than Dwayne Wade. Why? Because they got that hardware with LeBron. He asked me in about 8 wins. If it happens, I'm going to say, oh, yeah, most definitely.
So 1 out of 2 for Davis. Lakers have missed 8 free throws this quarter, or else they could have a much bigger lead here. Grant with a flurry of moves draws the foul on Kyle Kuzma. 13-point game, and all this foul trouble with Murray 3 fouls on the bench, Millsap on the bench with 3 fouls, and of course Nikola Jokic as well. So Denver's bench doing a good job hanging in there in this second quarter.
You know, Reg, you talked about Porter not kind of sitting out shooting threes. We know he can knock them down with the best. But doesn't it seem like maybe you get him some action going to the basket, let him use his athletic ability to see the ball go in 1 or 2 times maybe, to try to get him involved, being that he's the main scorer on the bench coming off the bench.
Third leading scorer on this team, and with your 2 main scorers out of this ball game with foul trouble, you can't just rely on 3-point shooting. And you're right, at times you just got to see the ball go through. So maybe get fouled, go to the free throw line, and just see the ball go through the basket.
Kuzma drew the quick double team, lucky to get it back. Shot clock down to 9, under a minute to go. LeBron James at the controls, slips by it, bullet pass. Caldwell Pope for 3, no. And it's run down by Monte Morris. That was Plumlee in there, stirring it up.
Nuggets hanging around here.
Morris, nice find. Harris for 3, big hit for Denver. Corner 3 is good. And a whistle on the other end. Even after the made basket, the Lakers push it. They get the foul. Don't forget American Express halftime report coming your way in just a moment. Draymond joining the guys in the studio.
Here's another guy that needs to get going offensively here for the Nuggets. Gary Harris. Nice three in that short corner for him.
Talk about the play of, talk about Draymond Green being in with the guys at halftime. If you remember last year during their playoff run with all the injuries, he turned into a one-man band pushing it after makes. And when the Denver goes into the locker room and when they watch film, whether they win or lose, one of the things they're going to talk about is just not getting back in transition, but making sure everybody's aware after a made basket to run and get a stop on the other end.
More free throws for the Lakers as Davis. And let's see what the call is here. Officials looking at each other. That'll be Laker ball.
Great activity there by Anthony Davis to create another possession here for the Lakers. Davis now with 5 rebounds to go along with those 17 points.
Really, the only hole right now in the Lakers game is their free throw shooting. Missed a ton of them. That's off the foot of Davis. And let's see here. Tony Brothers conferring with Courtney Kirkland. Look from here. I'm behind 6 panes of glass here, but it looks
like it was Anthony Davis.
It was Davis who touched it last. Yeah, Davis.
Davis.
Okay.
But do they know? Or is this going to be a jump ball here?
Should I tell him?
It's funny because Porter and Plumlee are trying to sneak down to the other end and get a dunk in as if nobody's watching.
All right, they get it together. Scott Foster comes in.
Nice
no replay
officiating.
needed. They come together and get the call right.
That was a good guess on their part.
Did you give him a thumbs up, Reggie?
Maybe they were watching the big board.
Oh, right above us.
No.
It does look like they're looking right at us, though, sometimes. Morris with Caruso on him. That was James. Got a swipe down. He's going to be called for the foul.
Let's give Michael Malone and the Nuggets credit here, right? Their 2 best players on the bench with foul trouble, and they found a way just to hang around here in this first half, C-Web.
Yeah, and a lot of times the others, your teammates, they sit and maybe stargaze and watch the 2 stars on their team and the others play. And what has happened is they've been infused into the offense and they've had to pick up the pace.
Well, Michael Malone, he was with LeBron James his first 5 years coaching in Cleveland, starting in 05. Michael Malone is an assistant under Mike Brown, and he credits both LeBron and Mike Brown for his career and his opportunities to be a head coach. First with Sacramento, and now in his 5th year as the head coach of the Denver Nuggets and back-to-back trips to the playoffs.
Well, these Nuggets, they never go away. They continue to play hard. They need stops at this end.
James bullies his way in. Going to be a foul.
And one.
Grant.
And they're going to count it.
They did count the basket. James, chance at a 3-point play here.
Now, this is twice LeBron has gotten away with a lot of contact. The first one was on Murray that Michael Malone challenged. And this one here on Jeremy Grant.
LeBron's so smart not extending that left arm, but he doesn't have to because he's so strong. He just bowls you over right there. But this is going to be something that they're going to make sure that the refs notice both the rest of the game tonight and whoever officiates the next few games.
Denver with 20 personal fouls already. That bucket by LeBron turns into a 3-point trip down the floor. It stopped an 8-2 Denver run. 11-point Laker lead. Shot clock is off. Making our way to the end of this first half in game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. And here's Porter, long 3, misses again.
We're earning those free throws.
And they have a ton of them. 32 free throw attempts for the Lakers as we get underway here in this 3rd quarter. Denver down 11. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, both had good first halves. Chris, the Denver Nuggets, and Frank Vogel hit on it. They've been a second half team. You see the numbers right there. They've had big comebacks throughout their regular season and the playoffs.
Well, I tell you what, my mom's a teacher, and one thing I know is when a teacher asks a question and everybody's engaged, that means it's been a good teacher. And so right there, Frank Vogel brought that point up, and no team has had more comebacks from 15 or more than this Denver Nuggets team, Red.
How about Dwight Howard getting the start here in the second half over JaVale McGee? His activity paying dividends in that second quarter. Him and Rondo and the Lakers starting that second quarter on a 17-1 run here as the Joker picks up his fourth foul here.
Unbelievable.
Physical play, and that's what Dwight Howard brings, frustrating offensive players.
Howard was a difference maker, and LeBron James rewards him. Flying high, Dwight Howard. Year 17 to year 16 in the NBA. Turning the clock back a little bit, those two.
See what between Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee in his limited minutes in that first quarter, and Anthony Davis, they have kind of taken the Joker out of this game right here. He's just not engaged with these 4 fouls.
Little sidestep by Jokic.
It's so tough. It's like in the Tim Duncan days. You have to get by a great defender like Tim Duncan. And if you do, you're met at the rim by David Robinson. The length right here is so tough for the Lakers.
Lakers with 17 assists now, only 3 turnovers. 1 start for the Lakers. Here's Davis already, and Howard was a difference maker on that big run Reggie talked about in the second quarter. That 17-1 start for the Lakers. Here's Millsap. Jokic now with 4 fouls. Murray with 3 fouls. Millsap with 3 fouls in that first half as well. Those 3 spent a good portion of that second quarter on the bench. Grant can't hit. And it's Davis with a rebound, and no whistles right there.
Look, they don't want to give Jokic his 5th foul. If he did not have 4, there's a lot of contact down there.
I think you're right. That the officials had that look on their face, that nothing to see here kind of look. Murray on James. Bullet pass to Caldwell. Pope steps into a 2.
Nothing wrong with the nice 18-footer. We get so enamored with the 3-point line. Nice job there by KCP with the pump fake.
Feels like for whatever reason the mid-range, it always makes a comeback in the playoffs, but especially the bubble playoffs this year.
Right.
Seen a ton of 2s. 2-man game, Grant and Jokic. He's got James on him now. Here's Murray with Howard on him. Just shakes it loose and rattles home a 3. Nuggets know they're going to need a big second half performance from Murray and Jokic. 18 points for Jamal Murray. His second made 3. James finding Davis. Millsap on him. Gets by him. Davis scores it. He's checking with Allie LaForce. She had a chance to visit with Michael Malone. What do you allow, Allie?
BA, the 32 free throw attempts were certainly troubling, but he said fouls aside, I want to stick to our original game plan, which is get back in transition and make them play in the half court. There's no denying the Lakers, 19% of their possessions come in transition this postseason. That is by far the most of any team in the postseason, so he doesn't want the team to get caught up in the foul calling and forget about that. He also said offensively we have to stay in attack mode and put the pressure on their defense.
All right, good stuff there, Allie. Harris in attack mode, lost it off his leg. That was a nice play by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, forcing that turnover. Denver had 7 turnovers in the first 6 minutes of the second quarter. Protected the ball well in the last 6 minutes, had none as James misses a 3. Denver, they'll be happy with those shots the rest of this half. LeBron rolled his left ankle, but has shown no signs for the worse here of that. Good find by Murray. In the corner is Grant. Can't hit the 3.
It's those shots that they're going to have to make here in this series to be successful. Those wide open corner 3s from dribble penetration.
Denver just 5 for 16 from behind the arc. Murray, the only Nugget with multiple 3s in the game. Grant draws the LeBron James assignment. Backs his way in. They clear it out. And Grant making it tough for him. Shot clock down to 9. All LeBron here. He spins. LeBron goes. Harris for three. No. Danny Green, I beg your pardon. And now it's James. Gets the offensive board. He'll reset it. Anthony Davis along two. And finally secured by Grant.
The D by Millsap that time, stunting and not letting Davis drive by him, forcing the tough jumper.
Millsap gives it up. Three-pointer is up and in for Jamal Murray. That's his third three-pointer made. Murray now 7 of 10 shooting. 3 of those are threes. He's got 21. Davis gets it deep. Oh, tough shot. Howard right there. And Dwight Howard with the putback.
What an efficient evening for Dwight Howard. 9 points, 3 rebounds. Very solid at the defensive end here.
It's going to be on the sideline. That'll be Laker ball.
Paul Millsap creating offense here, which has been a struggle for Jamal Murray. 21 points. And Dwight Howard with the putback got the starting nod here in the second half for the Lakers.
5G. 11-point Laker lead. Player mics tonight. JaVale McGee, Torrey Craig. Let's listen in. Inside Tracks.
Hey, if I don't see this, it ain't a playoff series, man. If I don't see that Rondo, I need that Rondo. Get low, get low, get low.
Get a stop, Blue, get a stop.
Can you show me our pick and rolls? Why is it so crowded? They pulling over heavy.
Hey, I got Pope. Ma, take Caruso. Ma, Mike, you take Kuz.
Appreciate those guys wearing the microphones for us. Saw a conversation with Miles Simon. I mean, McGee hasn't played yet in this second half. It was Dwight Howard who got the start. Always active on the bench. Got a couple of rings with the Warriors. 11-point game. Turnover for the Lakers. Now they give it right back to Nuggets as Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is fouled by Harris.
Denver just can't seem to get out of their own way. Every time they have a chance to creep back in this ball game, silly turnover.
Doesn't it feel like one of those games you look up, it feels like an 18, 22-point lead, something like that, but it's not. A lot of missed free throws for the Lakers as LeBron bullies his way in, gives it up. Nice find. Davis hits a three. Anthony Davis on the find from LeBron James.
That shows you the versatility of Anthony Davis, being able to knock down those threes.
Harris, little pull-up is good. Now that was the first made three by Davis. LeBron James now 9 assists in the game. He's 15, 6, and 9.
Grant is just out there working so hard. And LeBron still able to find open players on his team.
Danny Green in the corner. He's open. And Howard kept that one alive. Right back to Green. Here's LeBron now. Gives it up. And Dwight Howard scores it. Boy, what an impact he's had. I give you guys credit. You called it early, and you asked Frank Vogel about Dwight Howard. He had that wry smile. Both you guys thought Dwight Howard could be an impact player in this series, and he has been tonight. Davis hit the deck. Millsap gets it right back. Oh, he missed the layup. A golden opportunity for Denver. They can't hit it. Now Caldwell-Pope hits a three. LeBron set him up beautifully. Double-digit assist totals for LeBron James now.
And this usually happens this way. A missed layup at one end and a 5-point turnaround here by the Lakers. Little alley pass here from LeBron James to Dwight Howard, and in transition again. Caldwell-Pope knocking down his third three of the evening.
Want more playoff stats? Just ask Siri. Who leads the playoffs in three-pointers?
Lakers have opened up their biggest lead, 17 points, 4:59 remaining in this third quarter. And LeBron James is putting on a show here tonight. 11 assists, only 1 turnover. James, you talk about points created, responsible for 40 Lakers points at this point. 15 points scored. He set up 25 more. And there's Jokic. Denver needing more from Jokic. He's been playing in foul trouble here tonight.
Yeah, Dwight Howard upset that time with KCP. It should have been a switch on the pin down with Jokic. You can't let big fella get a little bit of space like that, or he'll knock the jumper down every time.
Nice save over there by Caldwell Pope. Rondo with 6 on the shot clock, calling for Howard. Here's Davis now. Shot clock ticks down to 1. Long 3 is up. Desperation, and it missed the rim. Shot clock violation.
It's probably Denver's best defensive possession right there all game long. Now you've got Michael Porter Jr. on the floor here, who's really struggled tonight. 0 of 5, 2 points. The third leading scorer in this restart for the Nuggets.
And with Rondo on him, it seems like you get him cutting to the basket or closer to the cup.
And he's got to engage himself.
Jokic, head up. Now he finds Porter. Davis on him, and there he finds Harris. Good look. Harris comes up short. Boy, never had that one laced up, did he? And that's off the shoulder of a Nugget. That'll be Laker ball.
That's what you want from Porter. Reggie just said it. You got to engage yourself. You got to cut. You got to be aggressive. And if you don't have the shot.
Rondo directing traffic with LeBron on the bench. It's been a very effective group for the Lakers up top. Howard throws it down. Rondo set him up beautifully.
That was personal. Rondo did that because Howard was upset that the play before Jokic got a wide open jump shot. He then set the same screen for his big fella.
And on the run out, KCP, a two-handed jam. Another great pass in transition. The Lakers up 19 now. They pushed it to their biggest lead. Jokic. Danny Green on him. They clear it out. Jokic goes to the hole, gives it up. The cutter is Grant, and he's met by Davis. Laker ball here.
Tell you what, 11 fast break points make that 13 for the Lakers, and here a little bit of payback, throwing it up. So the former dunk champion and KCP saying, wait a minute, I can't be in a dunk contest, but I can finish strong with the best of them.
Rewarded for running the floor, both of those guys, Caldwell Pope and Dwight Howard. The run is 14-4 Los Angeles. 19-point lead as we go under 3 minutes here in this third quarter. Rondo, 6 on the shot clock. That was deflected. Davis again, late clock over Jokic. Oh, he hits it.
Everything clicking now for the Lakers.
That's an 11-2 run. Davis has 24. Jokic gets Howard up in the air, and the foul, and a chance at a three-point play.
Got the shot clock running down here. Miscommunication at the offensive end, and Anthony Davis knocks down his 24th point. Patience down low by the Joker. A little bit of contact. Hasn't been his type of night tonight. Kind of held in check a little bit. Only 5 rebounds. More importantly, how about this, guys? Only 2 assists. We talked about in the opening, Chris, you talked about his brilliant passing. I think the Lakers have done a great job defensively of finding those cutters and not letting him kill him in different ways.
Yeah, because most big fellas can't keep up with him, so they space him. And if he doesn't want to shoot, he has a wide open passing lane. Again, the lateral quickness of Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee didn't allow that tonight early on.
Jokic coming off a 13-assist game and a triple-double against the Clippers in Game 7. Rondo goes right by Porter and finishes with the left hand. Oh, impressive take to the basket by Rondo. Jokic scored 11 points in his first 11 minutes tonight in the first quarter, then got himself into foul trouble. Sitting on 18, 2-man game with Murray. That's a staple for the Nuggets. No secrets there. There's a bullet pass to Craig, runs into a wall with Davis. And now Monte Morris has to take a tough shot. Jokic there to follow. No. And that'll be Denver ball, and Jokic is down. Might have taken one across the chops.
It's not fair, BA and Reggie. And again, Denver in the league. But look at this. You get past one 7-footer, and there's another 7-footer waiting for you, or a 6'8". The guy going up for the shot. And so for Jokic, that doesn't have another big man in there with him right now, he's taking the worst for the wear. when you talk about getting physical inside.
Lakers defensive rating in the regular season was number 3. They've been excellent here in the playoffs as well, and Caruso is going to be called for the foul on Jokic. Alex Caruso competing in his first NBA playoffs in just his 3rd year.
Yeah, he's very fortunate that wasn't number 5. The hook there by Jokic. The officials know he has 4.
Or number 6.
Kuzma steps on the baseline, so 7 on the shot clock. Denver ball here. Nuggets down 20, and the Lakers looking as dominant as we saw them in the final 4 games of that series against the Rockets.
And a lot of this damage has been done, sorry Chris, with LeBron on the bench.
Yeah, LeBron sitting with 15 points and 11 assists. Jokic just hammered inside as LeBron returns to the floor. And let's see, they're going to get Davis or LeBron James. It'll be on LeBron here.
But you know what, guys, since the first day of training camp, this is who I thought the Lakers would be. The first thing you heard Anthony Davis and others talk about was defense. We know Frank Vogel's history, whether you've seen him in Indiana or other places, what he can do with a great team.
Jokic knocks down the first. Chance to remind you that the NBA playoffs on TNT brought to you by American Express. Now is the time to shop small and support the places you love. And by Taco Bell. Order ahead and pick up your favorites at our contactless drive-through.
Well, you look at the numbers here. Jokic is about ready to have 20. Murray has 21. So your 2 stars are getting close to their average. But what's made Denver so successful throughout these playoff runs is their others. And their others have struggled. Gary Harris tonight, 2 of 7, 5 points. We talked about Michael Porter Jr., the 3rd leading scorer. As Anthony Davis, my goodness, Rondo is just putting on a show out here.
Come on. The lobs are everywhere, Reg. Boy, that was special right there. And now Rondo forcing that turnover. Here goes Caruso out of the pack. Gives it up. Rondo bounce pass. Davis patient and a 2-handed jam. The Lakers just destroying Denver in transition. Opening up their biggest lead now at 22.
And Rondo 7 assists off the bench for Frank Vogel and the Lakers.
He's had at least 4 lobs. And now Jokic, that's going to be a block on Davis. Jokic has scored the last 7 points for Denver. Boy, these 2, wow, they've got something special. You know, Rondo, Davis, good find that time on a bounce pass. Yeah, you see that? I saw that, J.R. Smith. We all saw that.
But see, Webb, you know what that also does too? It takes a lot of pressure off LeBron to always be the facilitator and have the ball in his hand.
Yeah, and if he keeps up this way, Reg, you rest him and you let him, you know, take care of that ankle. That's not that bad the way he still has a 39-inch vertical up there. But you're so right, and it allows other guys to come in and get a playing rhythm and not just have to be inserted in a tough game later on.
And in Frank Vogel's ideal world, it's 18 and 18. 18 minutes on the ball with LeBron, 18 off. Obviously, that changes depending on the game. But when Rondo was out, a lot of that load went to Alex Caruso. It's a different dynamic. Rondo had back spasms, missed the entire round 1 against Portland. Now he goes strong again, misses. Davis trying to keep it alive and comes away from the pack with it, taking on 3 Nuggets. And the little turnaround jump hook is good. Man, what a performance by Anthony Davis. He's got 30 now, 13 in the quarter. Jokic with Caruso on him. Finds Grant. Corner 3 is up. No good. Porter flying high. And the putback by Michael Porter Jr.
And I'd like to see them get Michael Porter Jr. in the pick and roll. I don't like athletic players just standing around posing as specialists. You want these guys to get in great offensive rebound that time, taking them on himself to get an extra possession for his team.
Rondo is fouled here. Well, you remember the comments Michael Porter Jr. had as they were down 3-1 in that series to the Clippers. It was a little surprising, I think, for everybody involved that a rookie would speak up that way. And He said basically we need to spread the wealth a little more, need to get more involved. Paraphrasing there, but that was the general idea. Davis draws the foul on Jokic.
5 on Jokic now.
Michael Malone telling us they did handle all that internally. They haven't lost since the Denver Nuggets. And Porter, it kind of started playing that way, did the Nuggets, as they came back from 3-1 down to the Clippers. Yeah, that was a foul. Jokic picks up number 5 as we get to the end of this third quarter.
Now look, his message,
I have no problem with
no, he's right
Yeah.
about his message. The problem is you can't say that to the media and let it get out, because now you're throwing not only your coach but the rest of your team underneath the bus. Say that in the locker room.
Yeah.
But the message is right, because he was right.
And he's one of the most potent offensive players on this team, and he does need to rock.
Another free throw here for Davis. Don't forget, you can get more action on FanDuel and look for the final basket bonus during the NBA playoffs. FanDuel gives you more ways to win with sports betting, daily fantasy, and free-to-play games. Twice the Nuggets coming back from 3-1 down, setting NBA history doing that in the same playoff series. But the Lakers have their thumb on them here tonight as Anthony Davis has scored the last 9 points for LA. Final heave of the quarter. And that'll take us to the end of third. Boy, just a dominant performance once again for the Lakers. One more quarter to go. Lakers go plus 13 in the third quarter. You're watching the NBA Western Conference Finals. How about this performance,
I mean, come on, he had a broken thumb. He came back 5 months later, game 1 against Houston. He's doing it all. 7 assists, no turnovers. His name is Rondo!
Oh, I can feel those Twitter thumbs going right now.
I woke somebody up out there.
Hot.
There you go. Let it out. Let it out.
Look at those assists. Rondo and LeBron James, 18 assists. But what's key in that? 1 turnover with those 18 assists from those two. That came from LeBron. Rondo has not turned it over yet. Been a big game 1 performance here by the Lakers. After losing game 1s in their first 2 series. P.J. Dozier getting some run here for Denver to start this fourth quarter.
Michael Malone looking for a little spark here. Dozier has not played a lot in these playoffs, but this is a guy that Michael Malone they trust. Guy 6'4", 6'5", could play either guard position.
Excellent defender. Rondo open for 3. Oh, he's having a night. Rajon Rondo, you give him 6 days off, and he is in here firing on all cylinders. And Rondo called for the foul. I believe that's on Rondo. Yep. So that'll be Denver ball. Just underway in this fourth quarter. Talked about how good of a second half team the Nuggets have been, and then the Lakers just handed to them in that third quarter. They go plus 13, hold them to 20 points in the third quarter. Morris hangs, and the follow. Plumlee no, gets his own, and Plumlee sticks it back. Check in with Allie LaForge. She's got more on Rajon Rondo. What do you have, Allie?
Just a little bit on his assist numbers, because we keep talking about all the records that LeBron is breaking for career playoff numbers. But if over the next 6 games, since he's already at 7 in this game, he averages 7 assists per game, he will be 6th all-time in playoff assists by the end of the next 6 games. So we have a little bit of the history books on the line here.
Yeah, and just making a huge impact on all facets as Porter hits the 3. I was very interested to see how experience was going to pay off in the bubble. And Chris, you talked about it the first game we did here, the bubble being the great equalizer. We're seeing a lot of young players having great performances.
Yeah, we are
in those hostile environments.
Yeah, we are, because they're skilled, number one, and they've been working a long time in practice. But as you know, Reg, without that tangible momentum, without somebody saying, hey, rookie, you don't belong here, without going home down 0-2 and hearing your fans kind of murmur, it's a little bit easy at times.
Nice reverse dunk by Plumlee. That was a nice find by Porter.
Looks like Porter Jr. is a little bit more engaged offensively here now to start this fourth.
Well, with Jokic and Murray on the bench, Porter free to roam. Here come the Nuggets again. Dozier gives it up. Grant on the take. Grant with the reverse. Missed it. And now LeBron. Head of steam coming, and Dozier fouls him. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'd foul him out there too.
Yeah.
Dozier has seen those highlights by LeBron.
Dozier in just his third year out of South Carolina. James. And now they get the switch with Plumlee on him. Dozier there to help if need be. Kuzma cuts. LeBron lets him go. And now LeBron step back three. And Grant with a rebound. Lakers have pushed it to a 27-point lead. Caruso so active, almost forced a turnover. Grant passes one up in the corner, steps in for a two. He's got it. He's going to draw a big assignment this series. Usually does. Moved into that starting lineup in the Utah series. Draws the best perimeter player on the other team, and he's got LeBron duty here in this series. Here's Morris again for three. Nope. And there's Porter with a board.
And just look at this lineup for the Lakers. You could say Morris is playing center, but it could be LeBron playing center. It could be Kuzma, because all three of those guys are like size. And now they have 4 ball handlers on the floor, all except Morris, and they have knockdown shooters, so they can go tall with 2 7-footers, or they can go to this small lineup.
Well, it shows you the versatility, and that's how Pelinka built this roster, to be able to play against big, taller teams, more physical teams, or what the modern day NBA is, with a lot of flexibility with smaller players and light players at every position.
There's Rob Pelinka. Got his Lakers in position now. A franchise with 16 NBA titles, 41st conference finals appearance. They've never lost to Denver in the NBA playoffs, by the way. They've matched up on 6 occasions. And this proud franchise who had a 6-year drought. Frank Vogel in his first year, LeBron James year 2. Groin injury last year, missing the playoffs. They're back as the top seed, and the combination of LeBron and AD is formidable as it gets. Both first-team All-NBA performers this year.
You think about what he's done, having the best record in the Western Conference, in my opinion, the toughest conference, and proven over the last few years, and being out the playoffs that long. No team has ever been out the playoffs for that long of a time and came back. It's a great job by LeBron and his concentration all year long.
Yeah, not only a 6-year drought, but coming back as the #1 seed, and now an opportunity to perhaps go to the NBA Finals with 4 more wins. Good steal by Morris. Here's Porter. Freight train coming, lays it in with a left to you all. Technically a Laker home game. By the way, guys, let's take a look at the upcoming conference schedule. ESPN tomorrow, Celtics Heat, 8:30 Eastern, Game 3, and it's 2-0 Miami.
I was going to say, with the upcoming schedule, and I don't know if you saw the dog out there. The dog looked sad. I think the dog was a Denver fan. I just wanted to make sure he got his props watching his favorite team.
It does beg the question, who let the dogs out? Oh, put on bump. Rondo turning the corner, a little floater up and over the backboard. Okay, give him an H. Wow.
So I guess what they say about playoff Rondo is true.
Porter, there's a foul away from the ball, I believe. Courtney Kirkland with the call. How about the angle on this shot?
Oh, man, you're right. This is some Pistol Pete, Larry Bird behind the backboard.
Come on.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's great camera work right there.
Great crew here. Been here for 2+ months now as Plumlee is fouled. Our guys led in the truck by Tom Heights, Andrew Greathouse. Been a pleasure being with our terrific TNT crew. And the ESPN crews are here. We're sharing the same hotel. We're having lunches and getting to know our colleagues over at ESPN.
We got the legend Doris Burke behind us, okay?
She can go get 20 right now.
Right?
Yes.
Working with PJ Carlissimo and Mark Kestisher, so
DB
great
in
to
the
see
house.
them. Been a very interesting experience here in the bubble. One we'll never forget. All that's gone on, and the fact that the NBA has been at this point able to pull this off with no positive tests at all. Knock on wood. It's been an amazing experience. Give them a lot of credit.
Definitely the planning, the execution.
That was a lane violation by Porter Jr. on that free throw.
Rondo, there's another bounce pass to Davis, and he'll finish. Good catch by Davis. That's the second overhead bounce pass that Rondo has delivered in this game. Just having a huge night. Davis is 35 and 10 right now. Up top from Plumlee. Here's Rondo again. Been in control. Davis. Got Jeremy Grant on him. He'll just pull it, knock it down. 37 for Anthony Davis. Reg.
So easy.
What a performance. 37 points, 10 rebounds. Anthony Davis and the Lakers are rolling here in game one.
To create real change through the program that he calls more than a vote. We've talked a lot about it. The latest mission, which features a commercial narrated by LeBron, is called We Got Next. Its goal is to help staff polling locations with young activists, specifically at polling locations in black communities, to keep the high-risk older workers safe and at home and encourage young people to vote and be active. So far, you guys, we have seen the bubble as an environment that has made real change across the country. The league created a social justice coalition. 20 teams have committed their arenas or their practice facilities for voting-related activities, and the jerseys from the first round of games with the social justice messages on them, they're going to be auctioned off, and the proceeds are going to benefit the social justice reform. So it's really cool stuff happening here in the bubble.
And it shows you the guy with the biggest voice and the face of the NBA, how big of an impact that he's had on the younger generation in such a pivotal time in our country with so much, civic unrest and social injustice. Just a great job by LeBron James, just getting everyone on board. I love the polling places, either at arenas or practice facilities. That is huge.
I agree, Reggie, and I think to all those that said, wait a minute, don't do anything, come back and plan, I think you have your answer. And this is just the beginning of what he, and it's more than the vote, wants to do in our communities.
Some sloppy play here, back and forth. By the way, I hope you had a chance to catch the Arena show earlier tonight on TNT that preceded us. Outstanding work led by Cary Champion and company. That was excellent. Draymond Green involved in that as well. Isaiah. And the Arena, presented by Tractor Supply Company, continues Sunday. Draymond Green, Isaiah Thomas, Cary Champion. Coverage begins at 5:30 Eastern right here on TNT. They put in a lot of work, a lot of time, and great effort. Outstanding program.
So, C-Web, do you think that LeBron is a little bit upset that he didn't pick up the hardware this year of the MVP? Giannis, we were talking about earlier, back-to-back MVPs. You think he's upset this year? Because LeBron's had an unbelievable year. Finished second in voting behind Giannis. Think he feels a little bit slighted?
I do, because he's the ultimate competitor, but I think he likes being slighted,
right,
so that he can keep that chip on his shoulder, because to him right now he's not playing for MVPs. His legacy is win or bust, and I think actually a little bit he'd like to win it without winning MVP and saying, hey, you guys had an MVP, I got another ring.
And I think there is another MVP he wants, and that would be a finals MVP, because he would be the only person in history to win finals MVP on 3 different teams. Think about that.
Yeah, there's Dozier going strong.
That's ridiculous.
Like, no one's done that.
No, that would level out the fours too. He's got 4 regular season MVPs. He's got 3 finals MVP awards in those 3 championships, Cleveland, Miami, and now trying to do it here with Los Angeles. We remind you that the NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Microsoft Teams. More ways to be a team. And by TikTok. Celebrating you, it starts on TikTok. 4:42 remaining in this fourth quarter of game one.
And I would say Kawhi is in that same boat as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's won Finals MVP for San Antonio.
Yeah.
Finals last year for Toronto.
Plumlee on a nice leave. That was Dozier who set him up. Plumlee on the lob.
But we all know where the Clippers are now.
Ooh, man.
Where?
Well,
I know what you want to say.
I'll let C.J. McCollum and Dame Lillard.
What Dame say? What did Dame say? I missed it. I've been off my social media, man.
Porter is fouled. I've never known Reggie to not finish what he started.
I'm so glad Reg didn't have. I'm glad Reg didn't have social media, boy, because who knows?
Oh, there would have been hitmen after me.
Oh, man.
There would have been contracts out on my life.
Oh, man.
It's been a long night for the Nuggets here tonight. Here's a bit of good news, and Nuggets fans know this well, as this very resilient Nuggets team has found its way to the Western Conference Finals. Twice in the Utah series, they were down 30 points in 2 different games at one point in the game. Down 30 twice.
That was Utah.
And then down 3-1. They came back and won that series. And of course, they had multiple double-digit deficits against the Clippers, down 3-1, and they came back
Yes, they did.
in that one as well. So,
And let's also say this too. This is only game one.
Right.
It's one game. They got smacked in game one versus the Clippers and came back and evened the series in game 2.
and you know what? If it leads to a bowl appearance, we're in for it.
You know it.
He's got some special talent. This guy, rookie out of Oregon, at 7'2", son of the great Manute Bol. Chris and I watched him in the NCAA tournament. The last tournament that was played, he was injured, just filling it up from behind the arc.
I told you then.
7'2".
I don't know why teams didn't. I told you then. This guy, boy, and he has all type of game, and his length should make him a good defender.
Look at this length.
Pass it over him.
I remember Dana Altman saying he is going to be a star, and we'll see if he ends up that way. McGee back on the floor. Remember, he got the start here tonight. It was Dwight Howard who made the biggest impact among the center duo. Porter comes up short. 21-point lead, Lakers. J.R. Smith getting some run here tonight. These are valuable minutes for guys like Smith, Jared Dudley, Quinn Cook on his way in, but the Laker vets, the 30-something crowd. LeBron James 15 and 12. Howard goes for 13 points, had a couple of blocks. Impressive on the defensive end, but Rondo had the game of the night outside of Anthony Davis as far as bench impact. Rondo was excellent tonight in all facets of the game with 7 points and 9 assists.
And veteran teams should be more plugged in with attention to detail. We saw with our coaches mic'd up at halftime. Coach Frank Vogel said, what do we have to worry about this team? This team answered in unison, second half comeback. So I know that Denver can come back and play, but the fact they put the whole league on notice that they could come back. So expect teams to make sure they value their leads just a little bit more against this Denver team.
Kuzma, and the push-off will be an offensive foul. So LeBron just peel off and on his way to the locker room, maybe get started on his treatment. 2:48 to go. LeBron James, 15 points, 12 assists. Points created for him over 40 tonight.
Probably get early start on treatment on that little roll of that ankle. Probably put it in some ice.
Yeah.
Elevate it a little bit.
That was the left ankle in that first quarter, and just as we're worried about him, watching him, he has a couple of big jams. There's Bol. I'm telling you, he has some stuff. Bol, little turnaround.
You're not blocking that shot. You are not blocking that shot.
Unless you sit on someone else's shoulder.
Quinn Cook. See Troy Daniels on the floor, the former Laker with the Nuggets here, as J.R. Smith not afraid to get one up. He's got a three-pointer in the Western Conference Finals. Played just 6 games for the Lakers, did J.R. Smith. Dion Waiters in street clothes tonight. Waiters injured, not able to go, as Troy Dixon, beg your pardon, Troy Daniels scores it. There's Waiters. Smith and Waiters additions to this team. Daniels can light it up. Out of Virginia Commonwealth, played for Shaka Smart.
And was on this Lakers team early in the year.
Well, the Lakers impressive tonight. They were dominant outside of their game ones. They lost game one against Portland, lost game one against Houston, ended up coming back and winning 4 in a row in each of those series. They've had 6 days off. Frank Vogel in his first year sees his superstar Anthony Davis go for 37 tonight. 10 rebounds as well. Jared Dudley comes away with it. Kuzma will fire it. He's got it. 3-pointer in for Kyle Kuzma. So take a day off. You get on the every other day rhythm. And Denver will try to answer a game 1 loss against these very talented Los Angeles Lakers. And that guy right there, Michael Porter Jr., could be a key component to the Nuggets if they have a chance in this series. You know what you're going to get out of Jokic and Murray. Typically they're looking for that third man. He's their third best scorer.
Well, what we've seen in this fourth quarter from Porter Jr., he needs to do that through the first 3. I just thought he was very passive to start this ball game out.
Porter had a 28-point game against Utah in game 2. He made 6 threes in that game in a loss. Well, as I mentioned earlier, every opposing coach of the Lakers, the emphasis is to keep them out of the paint, make the Lakers a perimeter shooting team. And as much as you talk about it, Nuggets finding out it is very difficult to do because they force their way in the paint. They get a lot of baskets in transition, and tonight, especially in the second quarter, Chris, they got to the line a lot.
Yeah, just the dominance imposing their will. And Reg, you mentioned it. They have bigs that can run the floor. 16 fast break points tonight for LA, only 7 for Denver.
And 54 points in the paint. And give credit to the Nuggets. They had 50 points in the paint as well. So that.
Ooh, JaVale McGee fired up a 3-pointer. Made 3 in the regular season. As Dozier gets the dunk, that'll take us to the finish line here. So another dominant win by the Los Angeles Lakers. They go to 9-2 in the playoffs. Anthony Davis, 37 points. 12 of those coming at the line. Rajon Rondo, 11 points. Or rather 7 points, 9 assists. Jokic got in foul trouble in that first half. Murray goes for 21. Jokic for 21. And back to the drawing board for the Denver Nuggets as the Lakers run their whole active roster out there and have a 1-0 series lead with a 126-114 win here tonight. Let's send it down to Allie LaForce.
Anthony, you came into this series averaging basically 30-9 against this Denver team, but you one-upped yourself with 37-10 tonight. How have your teammates put you in a position to succeed in this specific matchup with Denver?
Just telling me to be aggressive. You know, they told me in order for us to get to where we want to go, they're going to have to lean on me. And it's my job to come out and be aggressive. Obviously, it's the first time I've been in this situation, Western Conference Finals, so it was new to me. But, once the ball gets thrown up to start the game, I'm ready to go. And I just try to get to my spots, take my time, rely on my defense, get out in transition, and play the right way. And, we did a good job defensively, and we haven't done anything special. We basically took care of home court